Welcome back to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm your host, Laura Ferry. Today, I want to talk about the space we find ourselves in at some point, that moment after you've taken the leap, but before the landing. You've made the choice, taken the risk, started the thing, and now you're just standing there wondering, is this working? Did it matter? This episode is for the ones who are waiting, not because they're stuck, but because growth takes time. We're talking about what happens on the other side of the leap, why the middle is where the magic is, and how to hold your vision even when results haven't fully landed yet. So when you're ready, grab a cup of coffee and come get uncomfortable with me. Hey, welcome back. It's episode 63 of the My Inner Struggle podcast. And I talk about everything personal growth, lifestyle, and business. I am the CEO and founder of Laura Ferry Growth Co., where growth gets real. And so if you go to lauraferry.com, you can see everything that I have to offer, everything My Inner Struggle, which is my own personal journey. I started blogging about 9 years ago. Going through my own upheaval in life and sort of documenting the process. And that was really a beautiful thing. And that brought me to now, essentially. So it's from the beginning of that personal growth journey through now. And that's where you can find my book, Is It an Open Bar? And everything social media related to personal growth. What you'll also find there is the Self-Love Club, which is my online container for women wanting to think and do better, gaining confidence through community and connection. And that is really a beautiful thing. We jump on a coaching call every Sunday evening to empower each other and be there for each other, create goals for ourselves, have accountability partners and throughout the process, and creating healthy habits so that we can grow and just move forward through whatever changes that we have coming. So that is really, really beautiful. And then the growth leader, that is everything business related. I have spent my entire career in finance and operations, and I kind of, go through everything, whether you're a business owner and you're looking to grow, because you are only as good as that personal growth. At some point in time, if you're not growing, you're going to stay stuck and stagnant, and your business will as well. So really growing as a business owner is really important. But we do everything, me and my team, from bookkeeping to admin related tasks. And then more of like an HR too, like finding employees, vetting employees, and then also team building and kind of building that team that is a positive company culture and in alignment with the goal of the company. So that is everything for Laura Ferry Growth Co. Again, you can find that all at lauraferry.com. But I'm really happy that you're here with me for episode 63. We're talking about what's on the other side of the leap. And we've all taken leaps at some point, whether we were kind of left with this situation where we needed to make a decision, and that was the leap in itself, whether it's leaving a job, starting a business, healing from something that was heartbreaking, a relationship or job loss, or grieving through something if we lost someone that we loved in our lives, or simply choosing ourselves. That is taking a leap. But nobody talks about what's next, right? And we spend time in that contemplation stage, kind of debating, taking the leap. And then once we've taken the leap and you're kind of waiting there, and then finding out, or finding your way through that kind of murky water, right? We've already jumped in, and now we kind of have to get through to the other side. So there's an emotional roller coaster that can happen, after you take that leap. And you have to know that it's okay to question it. It's okay to wonder if you're on the right path, because I think that's only human. But I do want you to pour into the part where you are standing by that choice, right? We want it to make a commitment to that choice and decide this is what we want, and then start living as if you already have the thing, whatever it is. So, the saying that they say, like, dress for the part that you want, not the part that you have, or the job that you want, not the job that you have. All of that struggle is a real part of the process. And I've been through it too, many times, over and over and over again. And we continually get exposed to those different situations until we've learned our lesson and we know how to navigate through that with grace and making those right decisions. And part of that too is feeling worthy, that you're worthy and deserving of those good things. At the core of it, that's kind of where we hold ourselves in relationships, all types of relationships, right? Whether it's at work, setting healthy boundaries, at home, again, setting healthy boundaries, or when you are building a business and you want it to be successful, but you're not necessarily making the right moves for it to be successful, and that's out of scarcity or fear of either being successful or fear of failure. All of that questioning, all of that mulling over is totally normal, but you want to fill your cup in that process. There's been times of major anxiety, waiting, putting it out there or taking a leap, making a decision, and then you're like, shit, like how am I going to get through these next few days while I wait on XYZ, whether it's an offer or a launch that you're doing or launching a new product or something like that. And you're kind of waiting, you're waiting in that waiting space because you have to, because it hasn't happened yet, but you've already made the commitment to that. So also knowing that you have planted those seeds and just knowing that you're going to prosper at some point from whatever that decision may be. You've planted the seeds, now you're waiting for them to grow. So let's focus on that part where we're nurturing the things that we've grown. I love to use the garden analogy because I love plants and I love gardening. So we've planted those seeds. Now we need to water the garden and wait, essentially. So what I mean by that is filling your cup. That is actually when I started walking, doing my daily walk in the woods back in February. I was kind of, one day, I mean, it's cold and I don't necessarily like the cold. I don't hate it, but I was feeling kind of trapped. It was very cold and I love being outside. So I can't remember what the situation was, but I had kind of put it out there. And it was before I launched my book, I think. And one day, we had probably 6 inches of snow on the ground. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I have to get out of here. I have to move this anxiety through my body and get to the next step. So I did it. I put on my snow boots and I went into the woods and I walked on some trails and it felt amazing. And then I kept doing it day after day and after day. And here we are 4 months later, taking that time for myself to focus on that and just filling my cup. Sort of puts everything in alignment to move forward. Because when you're not doing anything for yourself, it's easy to say that I don't have the time or, I don't have anybody to help me or whatever, but there are pockets of time throughout your day that you can do things for yourself. If you need help finding it, let me know. I can help you. Because I remember a long time ago when I first started seeing my therapist and she asked me, like, well, tell me about your day. And she had said, she's like, you have a whole day before your day even starts. But there was still pockets of time to fill my cup and serve myself so that I could serve other people. Just because the results haven't shown up yet doesn't mean the roots aren't growing. So if you're still not seeing anything, if you're putting in the work, if you're doing all of the right things, it should eventually start to show through. So we're talking about consistency, whether it's your daily habits, which I talk about all the time, or being in the right alignment with what it is that you want to get. And it's kind of interesting to say because people will come to me and say, I'm doing all the right things, but still nothing's happening. But they're not stepping outside the box and looking at their own situation objectively. So I would encourage that too. Step outside and kind of be the observer of what you're doing each day. Write it all down. I'm a huge advocate of the brain dump. So when you put everything in your head down on paper, it makes a big difference because you're sitting here wasting a lot of space and energy holding it all here. So when you can do that, it's really, really helpful. Um, this waiting period is kind of sacred space because I think that's where a lot of our personal growth lies. It's a time for transformation. We don't want to repeat those old patterns. We want to step into something new that we've learned, and that's really important. The identity shifts before the change actually happens, before the new thing comes in. So you're becoming the person that you need to be to hold whatever it is that you're trying to manifest into your life. And there's so much wisdom, clarity, and maturity that's built there in that space, even though it doesn't feel sexy, right? It's not the attractive after that we're looking for. It's this like weird simmering pot of water that we know is eventually going to boil and we'll be able to finish what we're doing, but it's not there yet. Continually as a business owner, as you're building your business, especially in the beginning, you have to keep showing up even when it's not paying off yet. You can't just stop. That's not how it works. That's not how you're going to move forward. And that's not how you're going to get to where it is that you want to go. I would say all of the things that I've run into, all of the, how do I want to put that? All of those sort of speed bumps or roadblocks that I've run into, I've learned to sort of flip the switch on what I'm thinking and knowing that, okay, if this isn't working, if I get down this road and there's a barrier here, okay, why is the barrier here? And you have to change your mindset like, oh shit, like why is this blocking me? Instead of thinking like, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? Why in every direction am I getting a roadblock? Why is this happening to me? When you switch the script and flip the script, I should say, to it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And I had a revelation recently when I was driving down the road, and I was like, I am so glad I remembered that. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And I will get through to the other side no matter what, because I am strong and capable, and I know that. And you have to keep that mindset as you're building, as you're going through change. You cannot sit down too long in the dark spots because you'll spiral. You have to let yourself feel it. I'm not saying ignore it. Let yourself feel it, but you have to climb out of it. Pull up your bootstraps and keep going, because what you want is waiting on the other side of this fucking uncomfortable space. I promise you. So again, what you can do while you wait, take care of yourself. So whether it's trying something new, walking, something that's going to fill your cup and make you feel good. Some people like to ride a bike. Some people like to hike, go to the gym, start golfing, pick up something that's going to feed your soul. Start taking pictures more of nature, get outside. Nature is so important to be connected with nature. It just feels better. Don't you feel better when you have a little bit of fresh air and sunshine on your face as opposed to sitting in, like a damp room or something with no sunshine? It makes a difference. It's scientifically proven. That's why they have those lamps that simulate sunlight for that reason. And the longer we're in the dark, the more depressed we'll become and we'll feel defeated and all of that. And that's exactly what you don't want to be manifesting. Everything comes to us after we're putting together all of these sort of micro actions, or I like to call them tiny daily habits. And they're so important in everything that we do. You think about your morning or your day, and I will talk forever about a morning routine because it's so important about how we start our day. But those tiny daily habits that we do, if we drive the same way to work every day, we pour the same amount of coffee, we put the same thing in it. Then we're checking Facebook, then we're doing this, then we're doing that. Think about all of those things and how that's building your morning, all of those little things that we're doing, and how we can manifest that into a morning that actually fuels us and fuels our growth and brings us closer to our goals. And that's what everything I do with every single client of mine, business or personal, we talk about those habits and getting yourself to a point where, one, you're loving yourself. Two, you are taking action on the things that you want to do. Even if it's baby steps, Take aligned action every single day to get closer to your goals, and then building something that's organized. Recently, I was kind of going through this, and this is why I wanted to talk about it. I've put all of these pieces in place, and and things are really picking up and taking off, and it feels so fucking good. But yet at the same time, I'm still not where I need to be yet. I haven't reached my goal yet. So I'm sort of simmering here in this space. And I did find myself like, what is my purpose? Am I doing the right thing? What is my purpose? And literally, my purpose is to create order from chaos, literally. And I believe that my story is how I connect with people in the world. So many people have followed my blog or listened to a podcast or read my book and said how it made them feel less alone, but then motivated them to move forward too. They may have been in a similar situation or in a dark place, and that just because I could do it, they felt they could do it too. And that is how I can help more people than I can handle in a day. And that feels really fucking good. And that is my purpose. Like, my story is my purpose. And I truly believe that now. But when I question things, I have to go back to square one and just remember that, affirm that, and live each day with purpose. My mission is to provide as much value every day to as many lives as possible. So if I can help you by planting a seed of something, a habit, or a mindset that you can do better, then I've done my job. That is my why. That is why I do all of that. When you connect with that why, when you're sitting in this space, it's really, really helpful. Even after you've achieved whatever the thing is that you're trying to achieve, because there's going to be another goal. We never stop growing. If you're not growing, there's a problem, but we don't really stop. So the next thing, remember that. Remember my why. Remember, go back to the beginning. Why did I start this in the first place? Would you still be doing this thing if no one was clapping for you in 6 months? Would you still be doing it? Probably. If it's speaking to you and your purpose and your passion, then yes. If you're still showing up, you're still growing. That's the bottom line. I think it's really important to remember that you're not alone in this space. There are so many more of us that are sitting in this waiting space. It's not even funny. No one likes to talk about it. And so that's why I wanted to bring it up. There are so many of us in the middle of a leap, waiting for it to land, waiting for our next step, waiting for the win. Just trust what you can't see yet. It is building, it is growing, and if you're doing the right things, you will get there. It's working. One quote that I want to share is, what's meant for me is already on its way. I'm not behind, I'm becoming. So remember that. Take that with you today as you plant the seeds for future growth. If you are interested in working with me, I would love to help you. Go to lauraferry.com, whether it's through My Inner Struggle, the Self-Love Club, or the Growth Leader. You can check it all out at lauraferry.com. Shoot me a message on social. I would love to help you. It would mean the world to me if I could help you reach your goals or realize how wonderful you are. Join the Self-Love Club at lauraferry.com. Again, if you are listening to this and it resonated with you, please give it a like and make sure you're subscribing wherever you are watching or listening. If you haven't yet read my book, find it at myinnerstruggle.com. Is it an open bar? If you're local, it's available in Branchville at Broad Street Books. And share this with a friend if you found they can benefit from this as well. That would mean the world to me. As always, until next time, I am thinking of you and sending you love, and I will see you soon.